Okay, so being the terrible individual I am, I always should save before I keep going. That's the first thing you should always do, but I'm not the best at doing that. So we're going to go up here, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to go File, Save As, Project, and we want to save this project as I pull this window over. We want to make sure that you're on the V drive in your folder, right? Classes, Architecture, 25601, students, whatever your name is, right? And the next thing I'll do is go to the lecture start files, lecture 4, and I'm going to type in ADCG, right? 25601 underscore lecture 4 underscore JDH. You need your initials at the end so when I have you upload these, I know who they belong to, okay? That's the name. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now I'm going to move on to the very first thing that I need to do. And the first thing I need to do is plan before I put any model elements in here is to start differentiating which of these plans I want to use. Now, if you notice here in the first floor, if you look over in the project browser, there's these two levels, level 1 and 2 analytical. We're not using analytical items in our model, okay? We're not going to have those things turned on in our views. Analytical items are a way that you can actually do load calculations in your model. We don't go that direction in this class, okay? We're not going to use them. So what I like to do is I'll click one and I'll hold down control and click the other, and then I will right click and delete those. I don't need them. Now, my lowest level where I'm going to have items sitting is going to be on this first floor. So I'm going to click first floor. And if I was to look at the handout I gave you, you can see that we've got structural elements that are on a grid of sorts. They are 20 feet apart in the east-west direction and 30 feet apart in the north-south direction. So the very first thing I'm going to do is check the scale on this. I'm going to change this from 1/8 to 1/4 equals a foot. And then the first thing I'm going to do is go to my architecture tab. I'm going to go over to grid and I'm going to click grid. And somewhere in this general area, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to click a data point and pull upwards. And now what you're going to see is that I have a 1, okay? I'm going to hit escape twice. The next thing I'm going to do is click this and I'm going to go to copy, multiple, and I'm going to hover somewhere here till I get that nearest X. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just type in on my keyboard 20 space 0. Then I'm going to pull that direction, 20 space 0. Pull this direction more, 20 space 0. Whoops. Don't know how that got kind of out of whack, but we'll get it where it needs to be. Okay, so there it is. And then I can pull that down and make that mate to there. Hopefully yours won't do that. And then I'll do the same thing here. I like my grids to all match up when and now they're snapping together. Okay, so they're locked and constrained. And we're going to talk more about constraints later when we get into more with dimensioning. Okay, so the next thing I want to do here is draw my datums in the other direction. If you remember, one of the things that we have to do when we're going in the other direction is start here and pull here. Now, I don't want to use 5 in this direction. If you remember, I wanted to change this to a letter of the alphabet, right? So I'm going to just change this to A, capital A. And then I'm going to copy 2 more of these, right? And now in this instance, these are going to be 30 feet. I'm going to go down 30 space 0. Or if you want to, you can still just, you can kind of pull down till you get to 30 if you're more comfortable that way. Now, at the very end of that, I want to click on this datum, pull these down so that they cross, because if they don't, remember, we won't see them properly in other elevations and even plans. So now those are going to click there. I see those. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C in that one. And then I can go up to the Annotate tab, click on Align Dimensions, And just to check myself, 1, 2, and 3, data point, 1, 2, data point. And I see these read 30, so I know I'm okay there. And these read 20, so I know I am okay there. And I believe, actually, I need one more if you look. So I'm going to copy this one. But watch what happens when I copy it from here to here. It put a D up there. I've got to change that back to a 5. You'll do it right the first time, though. So I'm going to pull that over. I've got the grid I need now. And I can even come in here and add another align dimension. And, whoops. Now I've got all of those, okay? So 1 through 5 across east to west, A, B, C in the north to south direction. And we'll go ahead and stop this video.